really good kind of the mix-up tonight with the calls. Obviously, we had to do some different things without Devontae and then without Allen and without Mercedes. But I thought, we had a nice plan, and then we executed really well. And I thought there were a number of guys who stepped up and played really well. Jamal Williams, to have almost 100 yards receiving was fantastic. Aaron Jones getting involved in the run-the-pass game. Obviously, again, he's just such a consistent, solid player in so many different areas. Love him as a teammate and person. Obviously, confidence has never wavered, but I do feel really good in the offense. I feel like Matt and I are really on the same page. Not that we weren't last year. I just feel like we're doing so much more. I think the creativity and the aggressive nature has been really good. We've known when to push, when to pull back. I think as a team, you never know what the team's going to look like. Every year you have to have kind of a new rallying cry, new mantras, new slogans, new sayings, new things that happen, new dances. You look at Jamal for that stuff, but I like the way we're starting out. We've had to win with offense, a couple games, and the defense really settled in and did a nice job tonight. We still owe them probably 4 or 5 games from last year, so we're trying to pay them back early in the season.
Even with no legs, I still think you could have won.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers, I love you so much.
I don't sing that song for my own personal, just fun.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers, we could have been buddies.
You're the greatest I've ever seen. What did you just say? Oh, jeez.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
I have a man crush on him.
I still can't believe he let you touch him.
I don't.
There was that
I'm
clip
that
there
stalker where he's finally like, fine, just get one touch, all right, and get away.
How about that clip of us in the same room? What the hell was that?
Right? I miss
That's
those
weird.
days. I know. Damn.
I don't.
I wish I could just throw my right arm out here and hit you in the chest. It would make me feel better. I'd feel more comfortable.
I don't care about getting hit in the chest. It's the claw. It's that big giant meat hook of yours. It's like the claw with flesh on it, where it's inevitably gonna. Unlike the actual machine that never works.
Yeah, right.
The Sims claw actually works.
It does.
All right. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers beat the Falcons last night, 30-16. Let me just say this before I forget. Last year, the Jets and the Falcons finished a combined 12-4 down the stretch. They're combined 0-8. So
Right.
I am no longer going to mention carryover as a factor in what a team's going to do the next year. That theory has been forever retired, Chris.
Okay, that's good. You're right. Those two teams have proven it wrong. And, hey, we can still talk about the Packers. We thought maybe they'd have like a carryover or a letdown almost for how they ended last year. We didn't think they did a lot in the offseason to improve their football team. But holy cow. Holy cow. First off, Aaron Rodgers is freaking amazing. I don't know any other way to say it. He is the Green Bay Packers, and what he does and the strength of their football team is all around Aaron Rodgers. It really is. First of all, Tanyan, Williams, Valdez-Scantling, Shepard. Holy cow, what weapons around him in the pass game. Most of the people in America have never even heard those last names, but it doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers just tears it up and dices everybody up. They just have moments on the offensive side of the ball, and I thought Brian Griese did a good job of kind of explaining this last night, where their execution and his ability to diagnose plays and their aggressive nature of like what he said about the offense right now, it almost makes them unstoppable in certain moments. I know they have, a series here and a series here that doesn't go well, but their ability to just kind of put 2-3 drives together in a row and just rip off plays one after another, it really is amazing to me. And of course that starts with Rodgers and LaFleur and everything they got going on in the meetings during the week.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. This is a team that easily could have a letdown last night. Easily against the Falcons. And when the Packers played the Lions at Lambeau Field with no one there, they fell behind 14-3. Aaron Jones told me after the game it did take them a while to get going with no one there. They were fine last night. They should have been up maybe a little more early on. They had the goal line stand where they didn't score when it was 7-0. But still, this is what happens when a good team takes care of its business, even against the bad team. You don't see a good team let down against a bad team and get surprised and get stunned and get upset. They keep taking care of business. They keep checking off boxes, and it helps to have Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't matter if Davante Adams doesn't play. It doesn't matter if Alan Lazard had core muscle surgery and he's out for a while. Whoever is out there is getting it done. And last night was Robert Tonyan's night, 6 catches, 3 touchdowns, 98 yards from a tight end. And, if this guy emerges, if this isn't a 1-week thing, this is the thing that they always seem to be searching for but never have. Remember Jermichael Finley? They thought they had it with him. That didn't work out. Yep. They had Jared Cook for a little while. He made that great catch in the playoff win over Dallas and then wanted too much money, and the Packers let him walk away. But that pass-catching tight end, if your receivers aren't going to be at the highest possible level, if your secret weapon is a Robert Tonyan, they thought Jimmy Graham. No.
Yeah, right.
If Tonyan can be that guy, that changes everything for Aaron Rodgers, doesn't it? To give him that weapon over the middle?
Right. I agreed, Mike. I mean, if they can have one more guy emerge, that's what stinks about Alan Lazard kind of getting hurt and all that, because he was kind of emerging as a real bona fide, target for Rodgers, a guy that the offense could count on. And we know Davante Adams will be back, and Marquez, Valdez-Scantling, he's continuing to do a good job. But with the way they want to run the ball, and then they can get presence out of their tight end, it'll be, let's say, the poor man's George Kittle factor. It really will be. Running the ball, great drop-back pass game. Of course, Rodgers throwing strikes everywhere, but their play-action pass game is what's really taken off ever since LaFleur got there. And like Rodgers says, it's more ideas. They're doing more things off of that. And, yes, between Tonyan and even the second-year kid, Jay Sternberger, who, didn't really do much last night, they got some talent there to where I hope that continues to develop, because they need to continue to infuse people in the offense that make a defense think like, ooh, he's on the field. They lack that. That's what concerns me, is when they play the really good defenses that, oh, man, Davante Adams is taken away, and then, oh, we're having a hard time running, and what happens after that? That's what scares me about Green Bay. But, yeah, Tonyan looked the part. He really did, and that'll be nice off their run game.
Let me just blurt out something that I'm thinking as I reflect on last night, because the second game, it felt a little flat because the first game was more exciting. And, of course, it was the Falcons. If it was just Packers-Falcons last night starting at the normal time of 8:15, it would have been just kind of like, okay, this is one of those games where you can't flex out a Monday night, especially week 4. You just watch the game and be glad that football's on TV. What do you think about a Monday night doubleheader as a regular habit where there is overlap? You can't do 2 standalone games back-to-back. People aren't going to stay up until 1 a.m. You can't do 7 and 10.
Can't do that to me. And
but what if you do 7 and 9, though? I mean, we're in a 2-screen world, except for you, apparently. But, we can watch 2 games at once. We can do that as one game ends and the next one gets started.
Right.
If you have a 5-hour window of NFL football with that 1-hour overlap every Monday night, isn't that good? Take one of the 1 o'clock games out that you don't get to focus on anyway, drop it into the early spot. You got a game at 7, you got a game at 9, you got an hour of overlap.
Yeah.
They may have discovered plutonium by accident with
Listen,
this.
I enjoyed last night. I was a little worried going like, damn, I just want to watch one game at a time and do that. But, it kind of overlapped in a nice way to where, yeah, I'm focusing on the end of the Chiefs-Patriots game, with keeping an eye on Packers-Atlanta, and that's the early phase. I don't need to know, like, every play detail, you know what I mean? So it did have a nice feel to it. I agree. I mean, I would be more in favor of 6 and 8 o'clock rather than 7 and 9, but I found it kind of fun too, Mike, because, you get to the end of that Patriots-Chiefs game, it's at the end of the game, and the other one's just kicking off to where, okay, yeah, you guys get warmed up. This one's real good and juicy at the end, and then you can kind of take over from there. Yeah, maybe it's something they think about.
Just a thought, because you and I like as many games that we can focus on at once, because that Sunday 1 o'clock Eastern cluster of 8,
Brutal.
9, 10 games, it's impossible to keep track of everything. And that to the extent that live professional football pulls an audience together like nothing else, why not have a 5-hour window every Monday night instead of a 3-hour window? Just something to consider. All right, Aaron Rodgers late in the game. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh, I almost had a heart attack.
Yeah. But what? Almost your second heart attack in 2 days. Your boy Blue goes down on Sunday with the shoulder, and you're all petrified. You're ready to fly to Las Vegas and leave NBC Sports Group headquarters in Connecticut to go check on Josh Allen. And then that weird left leg step where it was that that thing, that leg just gets caught. And like when you miss the step on the stair, like it just doesn't, it hyperextends a little bit. Here's Aaron Rodgers after the game talking about what seemed to be an injury scare, but apparently wasn't.
I'm fine. I was, like I said after the game, all in all, probably more embarrassed than injured. If we had to play this week, Thursday, I'd play. Sunday, I'd play. So I'm fine. Tuesday, I'd play. Thanks, Tom.
I look, I don't know what kind of a poker face he has. I just caught a little whiff of something there.
What?
As he was downplaying it. I don't know. I'm just telling you. Look, and this is poker face reading. Just the way that he delivered that.
Right.
I think he was trying a little too hard to convince everybody he's okay.
Yeah, well, you're not Johnny the Card Shark, so I'm not sure about your poker face reading.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I don't, but I've never heard you talk about poker.
Bring your money. Bring your money and/or whatever else you would put on the table in lieu of money.
Okay,
bring it down.
Well, yeah, I might bring that. It might confuse you while you're playing cards, though. You might not know what's going on with all that in the air. All right, I was concerned. I mean, that's never a good look to what you're saying. I mean, he jammed his left leg and hyperextended it. I don't think he's hurt. I think it's probably going to be sore. I do think what he said there, I think he's embarrassed. I really do. I think, he's the man. You heard him last year with Mike Tirico and Sunday Night Football. Was that last year or 2 years ago when I still want to be Houdini? Remember he made that comment? He doesn't give a damn that he's 36. He still expects to pull off these plays like he's 27 still and make Rodgers magic. And, that's not going to be able to happen forever. I hope he knows that. He can still make magic in the pocket and be Houdini that way. But, yeah, him flipping field and reversing out of the pocket and all of that, those days are getting to the end here at some point at 36 years old, going on 37. But I think he was embarrassed because I think he thinks he's Aaron Rodgers, and he walks on water, like your Mike Zimmer said from the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, and he's still got it, although when you see a moment like that, you wonder, is that the first of several? Is this the start of maybe the decline? You said it yourself last year. You saw a dip
a little bit
in his play.
Yeah.
This year, he's looking pretty good, and they're getting it done. And look, to the extent that I think Mark Murphy is the ultimate wizard when it comes to manipulation, because remember last year the reaction after the Bleacher Report story about the acrimony and the dysfunction between Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. Mark Murphy was like, this could be good. To the extent that it pisses some people off, maybe this is good. Maybe using the first-round draft pick on a quarterback instead of a receiver, to the extent that it pissed a certain person who wears number 12 off, maybe that's good. And look at where they are.
Yeah.
They right now, look at the NFC.
Right.
Saints, not dominant. I mean, it's the Seahawks, it's the Packers, and it's
Tampa.
Don't rule out the Buccaneers.
Exactly.
Right.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Tampa's the third best team for me. When I turn on Tampa film yesterday, I go, uh-oh. They look kind of like they're getting scary good. That's what I look like with Tampa. And I don't think Tampa 2 weeks, Tampa could beat Green Bay and Seattle. There's no doubt. Their offense, weapons, their defense, that D-line. I mean, we know Green Bay and Seattle's defense are nothing special. So I'm with you there. But Rodgers, to your point with Mark Murphy and everything like that, I mean, it's freaking laser beams everywhere right now. And it's no second guessing himself. And that's the thing, again, that just jumps out to me more than anything about his specific play is how many times last night he dropped back, and in years past he would have gone, ooh, that's a little too tight of a throw. I'm going to dance around and make Rodgers magic, and I'll find somebody more open that's not quite as risky. This year he's going, ooh, he's open by 3 inches. I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to throw a freaking laser in there and hit him right in the chest. And I just see that more and more, where he's just confident in the play design. He's trusting the routes of the receivers and what they're doing, and it's allowing him to just let it go because he goes, I know they're going to be where they're supposed to be, and I think that's been a big part of their offense this year, a big improvement.
Last Monday night's game featured a couple of former league MVPs. The early game last night should have featured a couple of former league MVPs. The late game also did. We just don't think about Matt Ryan as a former NFL MVP, and the Falcons are falling apart. And here's Ryan after the game talking about that one and basically the way things have gone all year for the Falcons.
Well, we got 12 games to go, and 6 of them are in division. And so we've got some definite ground to make up. We got to find a way to make it up quick. And so can't feel sorry for yourself. We're in the position we're in because of what we've done, but, we're also the people who can correct it. And so that's got to be the focus. We've got to get a win next week. We've got to find a way to get it done versus a tough division opponent.
Now, here's the problem. They're all alone in last place in the NFC South, 2 games behind both the Saints and the Panthers. The rise of the Panthers is what complicates this process dramatically for the Falcons, because if they got any designs on getting to the top of the division, and come on, that ship has sailed.
Oh, yeah.
They got to jump 3 teams to get there. Their best hope now is just get a win, stop the bleeding, and see if there's a way that you can connect the dots to get yourself into the 7th seed. That's
right.
it. And the upcoming schedule has winnable games, but you got to win 1 game before you can call any other game winnable, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's nothing in there's nobody in football right now other than the Jets that I'm going to sit there and go, Atlanta will beat them. They'll beat them for sure. Okay, maybe the Giants. I don't even know. I'd be probably maybe think a little bit about the Giants. But Atlanta's no shoo-in for anybody in football. I mean, none. Well, what is there to look at last night and go, oh, I see it. They're this close. What is it? The crappy secondary? Lack of a pass rush? No toughness on offense? Or is it just, Matt Ryan always having to make plays and, do all those type of things? But their defense gives them no chance. They don't have a running game. Julio's banged up consistently, and it always just falls on to Matt Ryan to be like, all right, Matt, you just got to throw for 390 and 4 touchdowns this week, and maybe we can win. And it's not realistic. There's no team there. There's just a few individuals with, just okay around them.
And with Bill O'Brien being out in Houston, again, we're going to talk about that coming up, but I think we'll lump in some of these other coaches because, Chris, I wonder if O'Brien is the first domino, and it gets other owners to say, "Yeah, screw it. Let's move on. Let's make our change, and let's move forward."
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.